Welcome. We are the Pivot. I got that one out of the way. I'm Matt Lyons. I'm down here at Crybaby Hills Studio. This is Julio the Juice Quadra, live from the lab out Tulsa. How's it going, Julio?
It's going good, man. 7 game slate, dude, on a Tuesday. I mean, life is good.
New mic in effect there, getting it working.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Vast Bank, executive produced by Toby Biocchini. And as always, here on February 9th, 2021, we're here to break down a 7, as you mentioned, Juice. DK slate. Gonna take it game by game. Any hindsight from last week? We missed you guys. We haven't been here for a while. We had a little ice storm in Tulsa yesterday, threw everybody kind of off.
Yeah.
Did you put up a pretty good lineup last night?
I had one that got 310. So yeah, pretty good. I mean,
I don't think it was a huge night, so 310 was probably pretty good, huh?
I mean, I think the highest scores I saw were like 330s, maybe 340, but I mean, a lot of fire in this lineup, no snowflakes.
I like it.
I mean, it was good. I mean, I had Booker, just when I heard Chris Paul was out, lock and load.
He blew up last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think what was cool for me yesterday was I sort of built my lines with going into the news. I really felt strongly that CP3 was going to sit, so I really just built around that fact. I just really wanted to have a lot of Booker because he gets so much usage when CP3 is off the court. Kind of turns into a point guard. And I mean, he did not disappoint. 36 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, 5 threes, lit it up. So that was a great play. Another guy that's been a good play lately with LMA being out is DeMar DeRozan. He's been really solid. 44 DraftKings points yesterday, and then Brad Beal. I mean, when Westbrook's out, dude, I mean, you just lock and load that guy. And yesterday, they had Brad Beal at 9K against Chicago. Just gross misprice. So we took advantage of a couple things. Good night. I mean, wish it'd been a little bit bigger, but I mean, it's okay. It was a profitable night on both sides. So I'll take that every day of the week.
Every day.
Yeah.
I like it. You're excited about the 7-game slate. I know that's kind of a favorite of yours, right?
Yeah. This is for me about as good as it gets in terms of number-wise games. Hopefully nothing gets canceled. 2 primetime games, I should say nationally televised games. The Rockets and Pelicans on TNT, and the nightcap will be the Celtics and the Jazz. Maybe not my favorite nightcap, but a good basketball game. Should be a good basketball game.
I agree. I like the slate. Looking at it,
I do too.
I thought you might come in here and give me some love for my Minnesota guard that's keeps heating it up.
I'm the League Beasley, right?
He's just on fire, right?
He is. Well, you know what happened last night was I think D'Angelo Russell got injured in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had 14 in the fourth or something crazy. Anyway,
he went off. I turned on NBA TV this morning, and the first thing I see is Malik Beasley, 30 points. Just monster game, and I thought of you.
Of course you did. Eat that in your face.
He totally blew up. So he's if D'Angelo Russell's out, I mean, and he's got a good price tag, he's certainly somebody we could definitely throw in there from time to time.
Well, let's jump on the slate. The first tip off in a staggered tip off schedule that the NBA is kind enough to do for us. NFL, you should pay a little attention. That 6:00 at Detroit. Brooklyn is at Detroit. Looking at the Detroit side's got all kinds of red. I'll let you break down the injuries for tonight.
Yeah. Well, so before we get into this game, what's really unique about this slate is you get a 6:00 tip off, right?
Okay.
You got 2 6:30 games. You got a 7:30 game kind of on an island. And then you have 3 9:00 starts.
3 hammers. You got 3 hammers.
3 late night hammers. And what kind of sucks about that is that you sort of have to build your lineup so you can pivot to maybe some late news that might break in those 3 games. Because Jaylen Brown is questionable, I think. He's obviously big news if he plays or if he sits. You never really know what's going to happen with the Sixers anymore. So just when you're building your lineups, maybe give yourself a couple roster spots where you can maybe make some late night pivots when we get the news.
Um, I I like some of these late night games, but we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Talk about a little bit about. Give me a game total and a number on the Brooklyn Detroit game.
So it's a 229 and a half total. So one of the higher totals of the night. It's about a point less than the Warriors Spurs and the Sixers Kings. So what have we said about Brooklyn so far?
No D.
No D. They play zero defense. So
There's got to be some value on the Detroit side tonight. With all this.
well, so so DeLon Wright is questionable, and on most nights you would be like, who cares really, right? But
Right.
if you remember, Detroit just traded away Derrick Rose, and they brought in Dennis Smith Jr.,
Who's also questionable.
He's on the COVID protocol. So if DeLon Wright sits, they literally have no point guard to play tonight. They've got a dude named Saban Lee, who's at the Stone Minute 3K. So that DeLon Wright news is really, really big in terms of like building our lineups. So if DeLon Wright were to sit, that Saban Lee, I guess you could throw a dart at 3K. I mean, it's Brooklyn, so you can do whatever you want. If he also sits, I really like Josh Jackson at 5.7. I think he kind of turns into a de facto point guard. And I think he could, watching him in college, he can come in for limited amounts of minutes and run the team. So if he kind of turns into a point guard at small forward, I will definitely be playing a lot of Josh Jackson in my lineups. And Jeremy Grant is 7K.
They're just begging you to play Grant tonight, right?
That's about as low as he's been this year. And
I guess it's the best matchup he's going to have, or one of them.
Agreed. So
he could be playing Minnesota, I guess.
I think Brooklyn might be worse defensively. So maybe that's a hot take, but they're not far off. But yeah, definitely you could look at him. Blake Griffin is 5K. I'm not a guy I love to play, but they're just kind of begging you to play these guys with these price tags.
I think they're begging you to play Grant. I don't know if they're begging you to play these guys. Now, if Wright's out, there's certainly got to be some value there, because they just, like you said, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Yeah. But Grant at 7K is just, that was one time, 9,000? I think we almost reached it.
Very close. If he didn't get 9, he was right on the doorstep. So
wow, interesting. We'll have to see what Vegas has his over under at for tonight.
I definitely do like Jeremy Grant tonight. He's certainly a strong play. So I guess if I were to rank him tonight, I kind of think DeLon Wright's going to sit. That's sort of where I'm leaning right now. So I'm going to pretend he's not in the lineup. If he's not, my favorite plays are probably Jeremy Grant and Josh Jackson, 1A, 1B. Then I would probably go Saban Lee, the point guard. If you want to throw a dart at Blake Griffin, if you got 5K and he just fits, there's worse plays out there, but not someone I'm going to be building around. And maybe Mason Plumlee at 5.8K.
I just like Grant so much better at 7K. And
yeah, I like him too.
And then get away. Right? We got other games.
Yeah.
So on the Brooklyn side, I see Durant's still out. Irving's questionable. Do you have any information on what likely with Irving?
Let's see. Irving. So yeah, you're right. Durant has been ruled out already. So we got that news. Remains out on Monday. So nothing as of right now. I'm seeing probable on his name. So I'm assuming he plays. If he plays, man, I don't really like either one of these guys too much. I really like James Harden if Kyrie sits at 10-9 because he does it all. But at 10-9 with Kyrie in the lineup, I don't know if I love it, and I don't love Kyrie at 9.3 with James Harden. I think what I'm kind of gleaning from this team right now is if KD is in and Harden sits, I don't mind Kyrie. If KD sits and it's Harden and Irving, I think I would probably lean Harden because I think Harden can play that point guard spot and takes away a little bit of those assists from Irving
So
as well.
I'm pretty certain KD is out,
Yeah,
period.
no, he's out. He's out. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, I'm just like going over like the scenarios of when to play who. But
Okay.
uh,
I got you.
yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really love anyone on this side. I mean, I think everyone's kind of fairly priced. I don't want to pay 6.2 for Joe Harris. I think that's just a little too rich for my blood. Um, Jeff Green at 5.3. I mean, he's been good, but again, I kind of think he's priced where he needs to be priced. So I think I don't know. I think let's monitor the Kyrie Irving news. If Kyrie sits, you can certainly play James Harden. But if Kyrie plays, I guess it's almost kind of like a fade on this side for me.
So moving on. Next game is New York at Miami. It's tipping off at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's one of, as you mentioned, two 6:30 games. We've got New York low pace against Miami low pace. What's the total on this game?
By far the lowest total of the night. It's 208.5. The Heat are favored by 6. Um, I mean, go ahead.
On the injury side, I'm seeing Dragic is just out. Bradley remains out. Vincent, who's not effective, out is questionable. Looks like the rest of the guys are going to play. On the Knicks side, Rose, who's coming in via trade, is questionable. Is that some protocol or?
Yeah, I think they've got it. I'm not really quite sure in the health protocols on like trades, but I would be surprised if he plays tonight. I don't think. I mean, I guess he's questionable. If he plays, dude, I mean, I just don't want to play any of the Knicks. But it's saying Rose is unlikely to be available for Tuesday's game. So I don't think he'll play personally. But
If I was going to play anybody on this side, it would probably be Peyton at 4.8.
Yeah, Elford's had some good games. Kendrick Nunn at 5.6. He's solid. I mean, you could throw a dart at him. I think there's some better options personally, but Kendrick Nunn's not bad. Elfrid Payton is 4.8, like you mentioned. I don't mind that. No one really jumps out on the New York side at me. Like you could always play Julius Randle, right? But
And he continues to put out. He's just got a tough price tag. They're not leaving you a lot of extra on that 9.1 price tag.
They're really not.
I mean, he might get there. 45 is definitely doable for him, but 55, 60 is not necessarily his thing. So,
I mean, I guess I like Bam a little bit as well.
I was going to say, if I liked anybody in this game, period, it probably would be Bam. He's not too overly priced. What is it? 8.9? 8.7?
Mm-hmm.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
The Knicks, not a high paced game, but I don't know that Bam needs a high paced game for him to produce, right?
No, he doesn't. And Jimmy Butler, I think, is a really strong play in cash games. So if you want to throw him in a cash lineup, I think he's very solid. I mean, he's been since he's been back scoring around 45 DraftKings points every night, and 8.3, you'll take that in a cash game. So tournaments, I haven't really seen the upside at that salary yet, the ceiling. So I think he's a strong cash guy, but I'm not going to play him in a tournament.
I like it. Let's move on. That game's boring. Next game, tipping out the second of the 6:30 games Central Time, is Houston at New Orleans. What's the total line in that one?
This one is a 226.5. So just under the other 3 games. So it's kind of like in sort of the middle of the road.
I see Josh Hart on the Pelicans side is questionable. On the Houston side, we see Oladipo is out. And then that's pretty, and Christian Wood is out. Okay. So not much, a lot of the scoring on the Houston side is out. Is this a DeMarcus Cousins night? I mean, they priced him up accordingly. They 7-4 DeMarcus Cousins.
Okay, this is a really good question, I think, and this kind of like I think this is one of those decision points we talk about like on a slate. Would you rather play DeMarcus Cousins at 7.4, or would you rather play Rudy Gobert against Boston at 7.2?
Or Zion Williamson at 8.2.
8.2. Would you rather play Nikola Vucevic against Portland at 8.9?
Ooh, that's another good one.
Yeah, or would you rather play Draymond Green at 6'9"?
Who's Draymond? San Antonio. I'm leaning towards trying to squeeze Vooks and Williamson in the lineup.
Okay. I think personally, I think Williamson is a great cash game option tonight. He sort of reminds me of Jimmy Butler. I think he's been over 50 DraftKings points maybe one time this year. So I think for cash games, I really do like Zion a lot. Vucevic, I love, but we're talking right now specifically. Are we going with New Orleans right now?
Yeah, we're on the New Orleans
Let's
side.
go with New Orleans. So Zion and Ingram to me are kind of priced where they need to be priced. I think they both make solid cash game options. I just don't see that that tournament winning upside with these guys at this price tag. So
I see it in Zion tonight.
okay,
I'm feeling it. That's just a projection. There's no like math or science to it. I guess
right.
there's some math to it that Christian Wood is out. I guess he'll probably get like PJ Tucker defense most of the night. I think he's gonna. His struggle is that he always gets between like 19 and 26 points, and then it's what he adds to it. I think tonight he adds a lot of rebounds to it. So
Yeah,
I'm going big Zion tonight. I'm going big Zion tonight.
No, here's the thing. And to kind of further your point, what I have seen lately from Zion is he's starting to flash more peripherals. He was mainly scoring like in the early part of the season, and now he's getting some more rebounds, some blocks, some steals. So he's kind of starting to step the stat sheet a little bit. So I don't. It's not like I don't like Zion. I think he's a really good play. I just
admit it. You hate Zion.
I love Zion, dude. I think he's fun for the league. But but I think for me tonight, I will sort of pass this game. I don't know. It just doesn't really excite me for some reason.
Okay, well, we'll move on.
We can go to Houston though.
Although we're going to talk about Houston. Okay, it's not a whole lot on Houston. Well, we got John Wall at 7'3" and Eric Gordon at 6'2". 6'2" Eric Gordon's too much.
I mean, Sterling Brown is very popular today, and dude, I'm not playing Sterling Brown. I mean, his price went down, but now that Eric Gordon is back and John Wall are back, I just see his production going down. So I don't know.
He is dirt.
Yeah, he's very cheap. So if he's like if you need a 3.2K punt, I don't mind it. I think I'm going to try and stay away from it personally. Jayshawn Tate at 4.7K, I really kind of like.
Okay.
I think he's pretty cheap, and he's
never heard of him.
He is a dude that can absolutely sort of break a slate in terms of his price tag. Let me pull up some of his more recent games.
Yeah, give me some background on Tate. Where's he from? What's the news on Tate? Why have I not heard of this guy?
Well, he's been starting for a while, but
then that's on me.
He's gotten 37 DraftKings points at 4.7K. If you give me 37 DraftKings points at 4.7K, I'm hitting the lock button.
I've already put him in. So I don't know what you're waiting on. So
I really do like his upside, and I think with Oladipo being out, I think that kind of helps him a little bit.
Where do you play basketball last season?
I think he was with the Rockets, but I think he was buried on the bench.
Where do you play AAU?
The Tulsa Hawks.
So okay, I've never heard of him, but I like him. If you tell me that he's producing at 4.7, that's a good number. I like this game a little bit more than you do. I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of stars tonight, on the Houston side. It might just be pickup ball. So I kind of like this game. I think Zion's going to get more rebounds than normal. I think Ingram's maybe a little bit uptick. So I like it a little more than you. But let's move on. The next game is Golden State at San Antonio, starting at 7:30 Central Time. Big fan of this Golden State team. I think I tried to work in, for some reason, out of all the NBA teams, the team that I pay attention to the least is the San Antonio Spurs. Meaning, if you give me a Spurs Hornets game, it's going Hornets every time for me. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why do I hate the Spurs so much?
God, I just think you just don't like Popovich. Sounds like to me.
I think it might have been the Thunder years where they were kind of the rival. We struggled with them some. Uh, I don't know. I just don't. Anyway. But I like Golden State, and I like DeRozan as a player. So what's going on?
Let me ask you a question.
Before you ask me a question, give me some totals on this game.
Okay, let me go to the total. So this is a 230.5 total. So one of the higher, tied for the highest spread, and the Spurs are getting 1 point. So they're predicting this is going to be a tight game. This is probably my favorite game of the night.
Wow, Curry's playing like amazing.
Like he's playing amazing, right?
Wiggins is playing well.
Here was my question. Okay?
They're all playing good. I like this team.
If I were to tell you that Draymond Green would go 0 for 2 from the field, how many DraftKings points would you think he would wind up with that night?
45, but that's just because I play Green all the time. You're not going to get me on Green. 40 maybe.
50 and a half DraftKings points.
You're not going to get me. I love Green.
2 from the field, dude. I mean,
he doesn't need points.
Let me read you.
Points are for easy people.
Let me read you these stats: 6 rebounds, 15 assists.
I had him in that game.
7 steals and 2 points, dude. I mean, that is amazing to me.
And tonight he 100% is playing center.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they've priced him up to 6'9". I don't think that's near enough what he should be priced at. I mean,
why would you play anybody at 9,000 when you can get Draymond at 6'9"?
To me, he's legitimately an 8K player right now on DraftKings.
8.5,
maybe even 8.5. I'll put it to you this way: I think I would rather play Draymond Green than Brandon Ingram.
He's gonna be 100% owned tonight, though, right? 80%. Surely we're not the only two geniuses in the industry that see 6'9" Green with both centers out for Golden State. It's not just money in the bank, right? I mean,
I just think there's this thing that people don't like playing Draymond Green for some reason.
Why? He's so good.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm actually going to pull up because I know I played some Draymond yesterday.
I also like Wiggins at 6'5". You promised me the Spurs are as bad at defense as you say they are, and the total says they would be.
I love this game. I mean, I love this game. So let's just
break the game for me down. Let's start with Golden State since we jumped on Green. Curry's really expensive. Might be is he the most expensive on the slate, or is
I think Joel Embiid is 10-5, so he's right there with Joel Embiid.
Okay. Another good game, by the way.
Yeah, 10-4. Good tournament play because he can get you 70. But cash, I would probably go somewhere else. That's just
off of Curry.
Draymond at 6'9". Dude, we're just putting him in. The question is, where are we going to put him in our lineup?
I just put him in and let the lineup choose where they want to put him for now, just so that I don't want him getting his feelings hurt thinking that he wasn't instantly clicked.
I mean, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing with Draymond. You can play him at power forward. You can play him at center. You can play him at the utility spot and the forward spot. You can play him at the utility spot. You can play him in so many different spots. And at 6'9", he is getting in 100% of my lineups tonight. Bottom line. Okay. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a guy I have not wanted to play for whatever reason.
I think I've been a little bit more on the Oubre curve than you have.
No, you for sure have. I mean, you've been begging me to play this guy, and I've been like not doing it, and I really have regretted it. I really like him. I just kind of feel like at this point I've sort of maybe I didn't get on the train soon enough. But still at 6'2", I think he's fine. So I
just think it's hard when you can play Green at 6'9" and he's 6'2", because I feel like Green has such a better floor than Oubre does.
Yeah.
So I can understand your concern. Wiggins I like at 6'5" also, but I can understand that he's just not going to produce a lot more than that number, right?
Yeah, I'm not paying $5K for Toscano Anderson. Eric Pascal, he has effed me so many times this year. I'm done.
He's hard to play because 4,100 is tempting tonight with. I'm
not doing it. I mean, if he beats me tonight, I'll move on to tomorrow. It's fine. I'll just I'll play again tomorrow. If Eric Pascal beats me, so be it. I deserve to lose.
What about San Antonio's side? What are you seeing over there?
Um, I mean, so Deontay Murray just jumps off the page at me at 6'5". He might be my favorite play of the night.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, it's a good matchup for him. Really
Uh,
good matchup.
Great matchup. So last night he threw in 62 DraftKings points.
Wow. Would have had no idea because I paid no attention to the Spurs. So
So it's a little misleading because there's one stat that probably he'll never do again. He got 8 steals last night. 8.
yeah.
Okay.
Watch it. I mean, let's go for it, Murray. Let's see if we can't prove old Juice wrong here.
But Derek White is out, so his minutes are very secure. LMA is out.
You mean Larry Walker the fourth? Who's L Walker the fourth?
Lonnie Walker the fourth.
Okay.
Not to be confused with his Lonnie Walker the third. Matt, you there?
Yeah, I just found out.
Okay. So I like DeMar DeRozan at 7-8. I mean, I think this is a great matchup for him. LaMarcus Aldridge being out, his usage goes up. I think he averages 7 more DraftKings points a game when LaMarcus Aldridge is out. His price tag is not caught up with his production. So I really like DeMar quite a bit. We talked about Deontay Murray, 6'5". I'm hitting the lock button. Done. I mean, he's going in all my lineups tonight. And if I lose because of Deontay Murray, then I lose. But I just find it very difficult for him not to at least get me 30 DraftKings points. And I mean, he's got a ceiling of 60. So I'm going to play him. And in this matchup, I think it's tailor-made for him. And, Steph Curry's defense does not scare me at all. Rudy Gay at 4-6, he's someone you could play. I like that price tag quite a bit. And this matchup, I think, suits him a little bit as well. And Keldon Johnson, I think, is also like fair priced at 5'9". Problem with Keldon Johnson is I've played him a few times, and I feel like he's just one of those dudes I just cannot get right. Like whenever I play him, he just busts. When I don't play him, he does great. So, but I think he's in a very, very favorable pricing tier. So I don't mind that play either.
I like it. Okay. Let's go on. Do you feel like we covered the Golden State side?
So. Yeah, for sure.
So one of the 3 late night hammers is Orlando at Portland today at 9:00 p.m. Central Time. Looking at the injury front, we've had some injuries on the Portland side. CJ remains out. Little, who had a good game and then it got injured and is out. Zach Collins remains out. Nurkic remains out. On the Orlando side, we've got Michael Carter-Williams out. Gordon remains out. Fultz remains out. Fournier out. Wow, this could be a Jeff Ennis the third night. Aminu is out.
Aminu is actually questionable, I believe. Is he out or is he questionable? I
says out on DraftKings got him out.
Okay, then maybe they ruled him out already because I think he was questionable earlier in the day. So maybe maybe they just said, "Oh, we're gonna give him a couple more days," which is fine. It's not huge news, but it's certainly of note.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, not a lot of bodies. I really like Anthony tonight. What do you think about that?
I do. I have a value play in this game though for you, Matt.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like there should be something opened up on the Orlando side.
And I believe you and I watched this cat play when we were sitting in section 199, row. What was it?
Double A
seats 1 and 4.
Yeah. Who was it?
Frank Mason Jr.
Oh, okay. Little Jayhawk.
Yeah, I think he might be the min. What's he at? But he got 20 something minutes the other night. He's kind of a point per minute sort of a guy. So if you're going to give me Frank Mason, let's see where he's at. Frank Mason the third, $3,300. Last game he played 26 minutes and dropped 21 DK points. So if he's going to get 26 minutes tonight against Portland, I'm predicting about 25 to 28 DraftKings points.
Wow.
And at 3.3K, I mean, he opens up a lot of other pieces for you. So he's definitely someone we should be looking at. But let's keep going with Orlando. Another one of my favorite plays on the slate, and I play this guy a lot this year, and he's been doing well. Our boy Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah, he's been killing.
He's just getting these good matchups right now. I mean, he the other night he was playing. Who was it that he just exploded on? Chicago. I think Enes Kanter might be one of the worst defensive big men in the game. I mean, Vucevic should just eat him up tonight, and it's a pace-up matchup. Really like him. I do like your Cole Anthony call. I think 5.9K. He's starting to get up there, but I mean, I think he's really, really solid.
Playing really good, and he's getting minutes.
Yeah, he's playing really, really well.
Good matchup for him tonight too.
Dwayne Bacon at 4.1K if he starts. I don't mind that play either. But I think it's going to be Nikola Vucevic, Bacon, and then Frank Mason III, Rock Chalk Jayhawk are my top 3 plays on the Orlando side. We can jump over to Portland. Your boy, Dame Lillard, 10K.
I love me some Dame, but I think he's just a little too much in this matchup. I mean, it's like we always say, it's a pace-up matchup for Orlando, but not necessarily for Portland, right?
I will say, of all the spend-up guys today, he might be my favorite.
Oh, wow. Okay. He's capable of going off at any point.
He is. And, I mean, they're just relying on him so much right now. I don't know. I mean, I think he's a good GPP play is, I guess, where I'm going with this. I mean, I think he's going to be a little bit lower owned because, we got the Joel Embiid's, playing against Sacramento. That's a smash spot.
Right.
Curry is going to get some ownership at, the 10s. You could get some Harden action as well. So I think Lillard could go a little bit overlooked tonight. I think people are just going to be a little bit off of the matchup because it's a little paced down for them. But I just think Dame can go off anytime. So I don't mind him.
Jones Jr. coming off injury at 4K is off. It seems tempting.
Yeah, I think I'll wait to see. They might ease back his minutes. So I don't know. I don't love it. Gary Trent Jr. at 6'4".
Just too much. Yeah, he's playing a lot better. And I've watched him play a lot. And he's playing very active, meaning shooting, rebounding. Just like you said, just seems a little too expensive for me.
Enes Kanter at 7.5, again, too expensive. I'd rather find $1,400 and go Vucevic. That's just me, right? I mean,
or even Bam tonight at 8-9.
Or even our boy Draymond.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's for sure.
Yeah. So
Draymond's in the lineup. So period.
He's in the lineup.
Let's move on. We got 2 more late night hammers. You ready to move on?
Yeah. Is it Philly, Sacramento? Is that the next one you got?
Philly at Sacramento, 9 p.m. Central Time.
2:30.5, highest total. Kings are getting 5 points at home. I think I would tend to think I like a lot of these pieces, but it would mainly be on the Philly side. And man, I just don't want to play Ben Simmons at 8-4. I know it's a good matchup, but when all 3 of these guys are healthy, I just don't love any of them. You know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean.
I mean, Joel Embiid is in just an absolutely smash spot against Sacramento, but I just don't want to play him for some reason. I mean,
because he costs 10.5.
He costs 10.5, and I mean, I don't know. He's just honestly, I'm getting kind of fade Philly, to be honest with you. There's really not anybody I want to play.
On the Sacramento side, both injury sides, like you said, everybody looks pretty clean tonight for the first time in Philadelphia for a while. Same thing on the Sacramento side. Fox has worked his way up to 8-8, and
he's been crushing, dude.
He's
really so good. I mean, I love me some De'Aaron Fox, but not tonight. I think this is a tough matchup for Sacramento. I honestly, I think I'm just going to fade this side too. I think this is a full fade for me tonight.
Wow, which is interesting because of the high total.
It is, but here's what I think. I just think that both these teams have a lot of pieces. They're all healthy. They're all sort of priced where they need to be priced at. I just don't want to play anybody. Like I'm looking for a little bit of value, and I really don't see any on either side.
Well, let's jump to the last game, which also tips off at 9 p.m. Central. Preview of a final in some people's minds, maybe Boston at Utah. On the injury side, Conley is out for Utah. Other than that, pretty clean. On the Boston side, we've got Smart, who remains out. Brown, who you mentioned early in the show, is questionable. And everybody's playing. Should be a good spot for Tatum if Brown out. What are you thinking? Let's start with Boston.
So on the Boston
Oh, what?
side,
Sorry. Let's give me some totals. Did you give me the team totals already?
I think so. 220, and the Jazz are favored by 6 at home.
Wow, good game. This is gonna be a good game. Is this a nationally televised game?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I don't really like a lot of the pieces in these last 2 games, but I would love watching both these games.
Yeah, definitely. Philadelphia, Sacramento should be fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're both good games to watch, but I don't love the pieces in these games. But so let's start with the Boston side. If Brown is out, you could definitely play Tatum at 9.2K. He gets all the usage. I'm not playing Kemba Walker for a while. The dude just pisses me off. I mean, I had him the other day, and literally, he did nothing. I mean, and at 6'6", I'm just, you know what, Lions, you've been right about him. I finally learned my lesson.
He's terrible.
I think I've grown up a little bit. I think I've matured. And maybe I'm taking a little step in my evolution, but Kemba Walker's a no-go for me.
He's a bad player. He's just not. He's not superstar.
He's not the same Kemba
NBA.
Walker. He's not the same Kemba Walker.
It's just not superstar NBA player anymore.
No.
And
Jaylen Brown, if he plays at 7'5" and there's no minutes limit, I think is a really good play. Looking down, Tristan Thompson's another guy that
I think Tatum's a good play up tonight too.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Utah's not the best matchup, but if Brown's out, I think Tatum's a really good play up. Not necessarily one I'd put in our lineup, but just a guy to consider.
I think Tatum's a great tournament play tonight because I think a lot of people will be off of him, and he absolutely has a ceiling, right? So he can definitely just go nuts. So he's someone we should definitely look at. Peyton Pritchard is interesting to me. I think he was the Pac-10 Player of the Year last year out of I want to say Washington or something. But man, this kid can fill it up, dude. I mean, he's going for that. Have you ever heard of the 90-40-50 club?
No.
So it's 90% free throw shooting, 50% from the field, and 40% from 3-point land.
Who's that?
And I think if he does that, he'd be the first rookie to ever get that stat.
Give me his name again.
Peyton Pritchard.
Why? Where's he? Why don't I know him? Where's he from?
I think he's from Washington, and he was the Pac-10 Player of the Year last year.
Okay, gonna have to top shot his name out there, right?
Yeah, I mean he's legitimately a good shooter, and I think I think they just kind of moved on from Jeff Teague a little bit. Seems like he's kind of falling out of the rotation, so he's getting some of those backup minutes to Kemba, and we've seen Kemba just basically poop the bed, and they just bring Peyton Pritchard in, and he can do really, really well. So I like him at 4K. He's definitely someone you can throw out there. But that's pretty much it. I don't really love too much from the Boston side. Utah is a little bit more interesting. Especially
Gobert at 7-2 has to be in consideration, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Gobert at 7-2. I really do like him. Mitchell, ever since Shaq kind of called him out on national TV, has just been filling it up. And his price has gone up, but I still think there's room for him to get you 50 or 56 DraftKings points. He's shown it.
Did you say this game is nationally televised?
It is nationally televised. So the TNT crew will be there with Shaq. So
I thought Shaq's the Thursday night crew.
Oh, you're right. He is Thursday night. So
the Tuesday night crew is really good, actually.
Yeah. So
they're both really good, but
yeah.
But I do think that Mitchell's the kind of guy that plays for the TVs a little bit. So
yeah. Jordan Clarkson, no thanks at 6K. I liked him in the 5s, but I'm not going to do that. Bogdanovich has been playing better lately. Joe Ingles has gotten kind of priced up to 5.8K. So I don't know. Those are no one that really jumps off at the page at me. Again, I think I'd rather play Draymond at 6'9" than Rudy at 7'2". That's just me tonight.
Right.
Well,
let's do a lineup here. Some of the good names that I saw just going through: Murray, Grant, Williamson, who I know you're not in love with, Green, Mason III, Tate, and DeRozan.
Boy, you almost just built the lineup for me, Lance.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't leave. Let's do your lineup real quick.
Okay.
Because that doesn't leave very much at the position. I didn't like anybody I could fit into that lineup. So who's
Okay.
your point guard? Is it White
Deontay
or
Murray.
Murray? No, Murray's injured. White is who we're playing.
Yes.
Shooting guard.
Josh Jackson.
Okay, so that's what I didn't have in there. Small forward.
Kelly Oubre Jr.
Okay, Oubre. I like it. That's a first entering of Oubre. Power forward.
Do you even need to ask me this?
I just don't know where you're playing him.
Draymond, baby.
See, I had him at center.
You're gonna like the center spot too.
Center spot.
Vucevic.
Oh, nice. We got him in. Guard. Mason.
Frank Mason the third, baby. Let's
I
go.
knew that was coming.
Let's go, dude.
We need all of him tonight. Forward.
Forward, I got Jayshawn Tate, baby. Not the third, the fourth.
And at DeRozan at utility, correct?
Yes.
I'm very good at this.
You're getting good at this, man. I mean, you really are like evolving as a host.
I like this lineup a lot. This lineup kind of came together pretty easily for we both kind of agreed on all these players. Real quick, going over it.
Yeah.
Murray at guard, point guard, Jackson at small shooting guard, Oubre Jr. at small forward, Green at power forward, Vooks at center, Mason the third at guard, Tate at forward, and DeRozan at utility. As always, it's big. 7 games, a lot of action between now and tip off at 6. So pay attention to Twitter. Juice is doing good at getting those lineups out with enough time for you guys to adjust. I play the lineups that we make right now almost always, and they've seemed to be doing well anyway. So let's do some over-unders for tonight. I bet there's going to be a lot with the 2 nationally televised game, but we'll go.
Last thing about our lineup, I hope you noticed there was a theme. It's the Kansas Jayhawks.
We do have a lot of Jayhawks.
We have Jackson, Oubre, and Frank Mason the third in our lineup. So we had 3 Jayhawks. Let's rock chalk.
Let's hope they're playing a little better than their team, though. They got a big win.
They beat Oklahoma State.
Yes. Big win.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over these pretty quick.
Yeah.
In the Nets Pistons game, there's 3 numbers. There's Irving, Harden, and Grant at 26-5, 26-5, 23-5.
Irving and I'm sorry, who?
Irving, Harden, and Grant, 26-5, 26-5, 23-5.
I like the Grant one at 23-5.
Wow, I thought that was a pretty big number for somebody who's only 7,000 tonight, right?
Yeah, but I mean, this is like, dude. Again, it's just the matchup, right? It's Brooklyn. They're not going to stop anybody.
Right. So we got 3 in the Knicks Heat game. We got Randall, Barrett, and Bam, and they're going 21-5, 15-5, 18-5.
Bam's been good to us, no?
He has been good to us.
Let's keep riding that train.
Tell me if you're smashing one. So,
okay.
John Wall is 20.5, and that's the only one in the Rockets Pelicans game. The only one. No Zion, no Ingram, nothing.
You know what's interesting is we said we didn't like that game.
Yeah, so they don't either.
Yeah.
Let's just fade that. Knicks Heat, we got Butler. Wow, that's weird. For some reason, that's an add-on from the earlier Knicks Heat. This is an add-on, I guess. Butler's 19-5.
God, I like Butler so much lately. I think go over on Butler too.
Okay. It's weird how they have it. There is some here's the Pelican stats. Ingram's 23-5, 6.5, 3.5, 2.5 threes.
I think I'm gonna fade.
All of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Zion is 24-5, 7-5, 3-5.
What's 3-5? Assists?
Assists.
Let's take the over in rebounds.
I do like the over in rebounds. Okay. Curry, Warriors, Spurs. We've got Curry, Wiggins, DeRozan, and Murray. This is a game you liked. Curry's 30.5, Wiggins is 18.5, DeRozan's 21.5, and Murray's 15.5.
I mean, I think I like Murray and DeRozan. There's nothing on Oubre?
Nothing on Oubre tonight.
Interesting. God, Curry 30.5, man. That's a lot, huh?
That is a lot. That's just right where he's been at. Is right
Yeah.
at 30.
Who else was on there? Wiggins. I'll let you do Wiggins.
Wiggins is hard because Oubre is coming on so much that he's taken some of the scoring away.
Anything on Draymond?
Nope, nothing on Draymond. That's sad.
I wonder if they're anticipating another 0 for 2 performance with 60 DraftKings points tonight.
I wish they'd give us the rebounds on him tonight. So Sixers at Kings, when the late night hammers, and Beeb, Harris, Fox, and Barnes are 29.5. Harris is 19.5. Fox 25.5, and Barnes 16.5.
Wow.
I've had bad luck with Barnes.
God, Embiid is way up there too, man. 29.5.
Him and Curry both, that's hard to pick, even though they both are in great spots.
Man, I don't know. I kind of think I'm just going to fade this one.
Yeah, it's tough. Those are all big numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last game of the night, the nationally televised game. There's the Magic Trailblazers is let's do that one first.
Yeah.
Magic Trailblazers. Vooks is 25.5 and Lillard's 31.5.
Wow.
Big numbers tonight. There's a lot of scoring according to Vegas tonight.
It was Lillard and who?
And Vooks
I like the Vooch one.
over 25.5. That's a big number for him. That's way higher than his normal number.
I think
Okay.
if we put Cantor on the Loinger basketball court lines, you could drop 26 on Cantor.
I like it. Okay. The Celtics Jazz, there's a bunch of them. Anybody you're looking for in that game that you want to go over?
Mitchell, I'm curious about.
Mitchell is at 25.5, 4.5, 4.5, 3.5.
They think he's gonna have a big game tonight too.
That's a lot.
I'm gonna go under on Mitchell.
Oh, okay. I like it. Their Tatum is at 26.5, 6.5, 3.5, 2.5. That's rebounds, assists, threes.
Let's do the assists. I think he's gonna need to facilitate a little bit tonight.
Yeah, he could get there. I like it. Okay. We got 9 bets.
Okay.
We got Tatum assists, Vooks points, Wiggins points I threw in. I like it. Murray points, DeRozan points, Williamson, Zion rebounds, Butler points, Adebayo points, Grant points.
I like it.
And then you like the under on Mitchell tonight.
Yes.
Okie doke. Good show. I didn't look to see what we got tomorrow, but if we're coming live from you, it's going to probably be a morning show for me. Good luck. A lot of times Wednesdays will be the juice solo day because it's my toughest day. So you might get both of us or you might get the juice, but there's definitely Wednesday's always a good night at Slate, right?
Yeah, I think there's 7 or 8 games tomorrow night too. So
and I'm guessing the bigger Thursday, Friday slates will be around for. So
yeah. Good show.
Thanks. Thanks, Juice. And we'll sign off here and good luck and look for the Twitter updates around 5:45 tonight. Yeah. And good luck us.
It's a goodbye Juicy Tuesday.
Hey,
man.
See you. Good luck.